Hey, beautiful ladies. I know that we still have Dad on our heart, so I want to make this quick video for you for my Leaders Retreat reports, notes that I took during Leaders Retreat. I don't want it to backlog on us, but I also want to make sure that you know that your dad is completely on my heart, and absolutely, I know right now Plexus may not be your focus, as it shouldn't be, because Daddy is totally a huge part of your lives, and definitely don't want to interrupt that, but want to give you some information from Leaders Retreat, because I just have to tell you, I went to Leaders Retreat. Mark went with me every single day. And it was the most amazing thing, in a sense, of everything what we have, Chris, Wendy, what we have as together, the three of us have ever talked about is enriching people's lives, finding a place where people belong, and really feel valued, as well as just changing their lives through these amazing products. And they see that vision. And for the first time ever with Plexus, when I went to Leaders Retreat, I received this message from corporate. My take on the whole thing, my thoughts and feelings of Leaders Retreat was all about investing in other people, investing in relationships, showing visions to others, that hustle and bustle of sign 3, get this little gadget thing, wasn't there anymore. These lecturing of 70 messages a day, make sure you follow up with this message, and all that candidness really was not there for the first time ever in my Plexus experience. So I'm just going to go through some of my notes here that I had taken, but I just have to tell you, the feeling was so empowering, in a sense of everything that the three of us have ever felt, envisioned, and dreamed for our teams. Plexus was stepping into that same mindset. So super excited about that. So we first heard from one of the diamonds, Krista Derry, and she basically started out her speech by telling a story about when she was in the hospital giving birth to a child, and it was a traumatic thing. The baby's health wasn't there, and a lady came in to clean the room. And this cleaning lady at the hospital basically had prayed over her and provided her with the kindest words. And Krista said what she took from that whole thing of not even knowing this lady was, don't ever allow your rank or your status on anything make you not impactful on other people. So she's saying, this lady at this hospital, which you guys have been spending tons of times at the hospital, so you totally can probably even connect more on this. But the biggest person that she still has that impacted her faith was a cleaning lady at the hospital. So it just took me in a sense of, take the rank completely out of Plexus and just impact people's lives in a sense of sharing these wonderful products with them. Who cares what rank we are? It's not even a language that any of our friends understand other than us, is rank. So she said, don't allow the rank or the status to make an impact on others. Just be yourself, be empowering, and make difference in people's lives. So totally love that. They talked a lot about you personally stepping up as your own leader and finding your passion. So they asked us a lot of questions within this Leaders Retreat of digging deep within ourselves, of finding out what your passion is. For me, my passion is all about people. I absolutely love people. I learn so much from people, and I connect with people. And Chris knows I just told her a story today about how this death scene, and I just know in that absolute moment, I was doing everything that God put me on this earth for, even though it was very hard for these people and emotional just being there, but I knew that God was using me. So I know for sure my passion is all about people, and absolutely love that. So they were saying, no longer, worrying about your uplines or all these other things, but just owning your own leadership and doing what you need to do as a person to get to some of these different levels. They talked a lot about being humble and having passion and greatness within yourselves, and just showing that in other people. So obviously, Chris, you've been my partner for so many years. There's a reason why I stayed on your ass for so long to join me in this Plexus business. And it's because I knew with you being together, we would never have any cattiness, and we could talk frankly, and we would build each other up. and just be really strong pillars in each other's lives. So, just having that humility and being able to tell people that. And Wendy, of course, you're cut from the same cloth as your sister, so you were an instant, dear-hearted friend. And I actually think you probably connect with people better than I do. People just soar around you and want to be around you. So I think it's just definitely encouraging to know that you're absolutely where you need to be in this business too, because you can really connect with people and show them greatness with just being yourself. Like, you don't even have to do it on purpose. So that's why I know for both them reasons, we just truly can do this together. They talked a lot about the other things that they look forward to is a servant heart. So make sure your time and attention and love is given to others. Let me turn my page. Consistency. So you're setting the temperature for your team. I hope there's always one thing that I have taught you ladies is consistency, and that I show up every single day. Good or bad, I'm always going to be here and always will be here for you. But they talked a lot about just continuing to show up, and obviously having big belief, having belief in what your vision is, and don't give up no matter what, and really see what your passion is for this and why you're here to share with others. So that was our first presenter. The other one, which I absolutely thought was really, really cool, was a Sapphire, Michelle. And I can't read her name because my handwriting is terrible. But she really said to start finding leaders. She talked about looking for people who are already succeeding in life, who already are have greatness going on, already are motivated, have integrity, have character. They're fruitful. They're fruitful. They have drive and action, and you see them succeeding somewhere in their life. Chris, this is exactly why I asked you to join my Plexus team. Obviously, I wanted to change your health, but all these greatness of things I saw in you, and you already are succeeding in life, and somehow we always just find ways to fit this in. So I liked the sense that they labeled this a little bit for me and really defined it, because I so many times wanted everybody to be a leader, and thought everybody could fit into that role. And I didn't know what I was doing wrong in a sense. And really, we're just learning. Emily says we don't do anything wrong. We're just really learning about different things. But in a sense, if I actively start going out and looking for people who are already leaders in their lives in different areas, they're self-motivated, they already have great character and integrity, they already have drive and action. If I start looking for them things, heroes will duplicate even faster, and even with more purpose, because we already speak the same language. So I liked, instead of Jamie trying to look for everybody to do this, really hone in and be selective in a sense, not scarcity and thinking that there's not enough people out there, but really start looking for these people. So I'm excited for that, which is why the last month or two I've been talking to an author, a lady who actually published a book that I have read, loved it. She has some law enforcement background, and so I reached out to her and been sharing Plexus with her, and she should be possibly joining my team today. But I really went out of my comfort zone and found somebody greater than me, and just knew the potential there. And I saw all these great characters that I learned through Plexus, the Leaders Retreat, and went after that. And so she's not signed yet, but the possibility is just amazing to when you start honing in and really look for who you're looking for to be on your team. It brings a different just different thoughts and feelings into that process. So they basically said then, define what you see great in them, and point it out to them. So just like I did a little bit earlier for you ladies, start doing that with your people if you're not already. My guess is you already do, but just pointing out the greatness that you see in them so they can identify and see their own strength within themselves and their leadership. So Alec Clark. He basically just talks again about finding purpose. Make sure your conversations are about them and not so much about us sharing ingredients and all these things, but really connecting on a personal level, to make sure that you are keeping the conversations about them and how much these products can help them personally. Be a person of purpose together, and make sure that you're all working together. Okay, and then he showed this amazing goose video. And you think about geese flying, and you're like, why would this even be important in leadership? But I wish I could find the video for you, but it was just the sense in how they all, fly together in their V, and therefore they're all supporting each other, which makes the flying easier for them. And as soon as someone steps a little bit out of line, obviously it breaks up the wind pattern or something, and then it makes it harder for everyone else. So again, I just really connected on that because the three of us, I just think would be amazing in that V formation moving together. But the funny part was it that geese actually honk to encourage each other. I find it completely annoying when they fly over my house, but they're actually honking to encourage each other. So now when I hear that, I'm going to be like, yeah, go geese, because they're just honking. So I think that is definitely something that I can do better at, is honking more for you ladies. And even Alex talked a little bit about not honking like in a sense of you didn't do this or you didn't do that, and watch your tones in those sense. So it was the first time ever that Plexus actually kind of honed in on some of those people skills that we all know happen on our teams, and just been like, make sure your honking is at a level of encouragement and with love and grace. So I absolutely loved that. There was some, Alita, Allen. So she must have got married because her last name is now Langford. And she talked about just some attraction and care tips for taking care of people. Basically, it was about creating a page like we do for Heroes and adding your customer cares in there and really building a relationship. So we're on the right track with that. And then she just talked about how her purpose and everything is to live a better life with Plexus. So using these products to encourage people to live a better life than what they already are living. She talked about stories, beliefs, and inspirations about how she keeps going and just finding people out there and sharing that when you're sharing products with other. So then they had the Chick-fil-A guy. So David Salyers. And so he's a guy out there who worked for Chick-fil-A. And basically his job was, how can we do better than sell chicken? Like, we don't want our whole philosophy with this company to be about selling chicken. So it was everything about talking about an 80-20%. So you have 80% and 20%. And you really, as a person, want to dial in, engage on the 20% perspective of how you view and drive your team. So you're always going to have like this huge, large team, but you're going to usually have about 20% of them that are actually working and building and doing something. And it's really important to make sure within that 20% that you really look at your own values and what you're in the business for. So he talked about a lot of everything just coming down to perspective, which if you listen to any of Emily's coaching, I found this totally fascinating, because what we learn with Emily is all about our thoughts, and which create feelings, which creates our drives and how we show up in life, right? So he talked all about what are you in the business for, and circumstances don't have to change, your thoughts do. And so for me, it was real easy to connect with this man, because he basically was talking the same language that Emily teaches us in coaching. So basically, circumstances don't have to change, but your thoughts do about it. So these people all show up for Chick-fil-A to work within fast food, right? And so many times they show up like McDonald's has 99-cent meals. And so he just told his story about how was Chick-fil-A going to do something different. We didn't want to think about let's have a 99-cent menu. And he went into the philosophy of, how about we really focus on not getting rich like McDonald's, but what if we look at enriching other people's lives? What if we stop looking at the focus of gaining money from others and start enriching their lives? So apparently, I don't know, I don't go to Chick-fil-A. I think there's one on Capitol Drive might be the closest one. So I don't know. I haven't been to this place, but apparently people just go there because of how they are treated, and they create fans of the business and not sales in the business. Their customers, they want the customers to be winning, much like Plexus apparently now wants us all to be winning. And so it was interesting to get that drive from them. And they really try to grow people instead of growing the business outlook. So they really have apparently like a development program where everybody gets to go into it and they really hone in on developing people versus growing their business in a sense of dollar signs. Looking at a perspective of we get to do this versus we have to do this. And then they showed a video, this Chick-fil-A man showed the video about every life has a story. So it was everything about, me walking in somewhere, police officer was on 2 death scenes today. I have a story, type things. They showed, another perspective of everybody who's walking in through their doors has a different story, and to really personalize things. So what I love best about this is after the fact, I asked my husband what he thought. And Mark totally said, Jamie, that was something that I can totally apply to my business in a sense of working and being a foreman for his grading crew. He's like, I can really work on the people that I work around me, make sure that I'm enriching them, caring about them, maybe buying them extra waters. How's your family doing? Are you getting enough sleep? Just some of those different things. That even Mark said, he said, I could take away from this Chick-fil-A guy and easily apply. So, and I think I know for me, even just in law enforcement in general, it really brought back people and perspective and purpose and enriching their lives versus dollar signs or some of those different things that sometimes it's very easy to get wrapped up and motivated within that. So very cool. Then they did a little stand up for convention, rank ups, different things. So other people got some, what am I trying to say? Just acknowledgement that we're there for different things. Day 2 was all about fire up and commitment. Keep things completely simple and make sure it's fun. So they had a guy, let me just read some of these. Daniel, I didn't write any notes there. Amy Kolowski talked about modeling the behavior that you want. Make sure you're following through and make sure that you're always learning. And then she just talks about a little bit of perspective of that we're all learning and growing all the time. We're all going to make mistakes. And it just means that we're moving forward and trying to create greatness and really help our teams in a sense. Dr. Michael Hartman came out. He shared us with the new Hydrate, which I just got in the mail today. It's super good, you guys. He shared about the product research and development. The product will be released on the 29th for all of us to buy. I got on the call the other night, so I was able to grab my bag of Hydrate right away. So you guys should have been able to do that as well. And then this new thing that I thought was totally great was Plexus is identifying that we need to have better credibility in our business, as well as different tools that we can be using. And as we all know that they have all these scripts out there that we can use, but sometimes we don't say y'all and we don't say, hey girl, if your personality is not the hey girl personality. And Plexus basically said, we want to come out with this sharing tool, which provides you with great sharing options, but also hones in on you being your unique self. So it's called the Yes for Success tool. And they talked about the Y in yes is for your voice. So it sounds like you. So it's going to give different scripts to be, if you're from the South or from the Midwest, that basically these scripts are more personalized on how you talk versus being spammy of hey girl, hey y'all, when we're from the Midwest and we don't talk that way, or at least some of us don't talk that way. So the sharing tool is going to give options on different verbiage on how to share. The E in yes is going to be the endorsed by Plexus, is basically the proof. They're going to start providing us with proof to back up everything that we claim. And then they're going to be setting expectations. So the S. So YES, the S is for suitable, for sharing, set the expectations for others. So we're not losing 20 pounds in a month. The expectation is this, this, and this. And it's going to be everything that's going to be proof from Plexus that's going to be provided to us, so we can really start to make sure that people are getting credibility with Plexus and not just all these testimonies out there that some people find may not be correct or not too good to be true type stories. So I'm not sure when that tool is going to be coming out, but they're working on that. So it's yes, YES. is what that sharing tool is going to be. Let me see here. Oh, I did like that they talked about a little bit on new levels bring new devils. So basically, as we progress through our process of just life in general, I would think, as we reach different learning curves, different levels in life, there's still going to be new devils at every single one of them levels. And so it felt great that they weren't just saying, you know, you're going to hit emerald and everything's going to be perfect, or you hit senior ruby and everything's going to be perfect. You know, every level brings its own challenges, and acknowledging that there's always going to be something, you know, some learning curve, some new devil out there that's going to be challenging you. So it's great that I thought they finally acknowledged that, hey, not everything's perfect at Diamond either. So I thought that was super cool. So I think that is it. So the 17th was that event that was online, and you should have been able to order your hydrate from that. And I think that's it, ladies. So like I said, I really love that the company, for the first time for me, these are just, you know, my thoughts, obviously, or what I took away, my perspective from Leaders Retreat was that they were finally honing in on finding passion in people, and not just this huge duplication of going fast and this whole machine type thing. Even Genevieve, when she got up there, she did not do this whole lecture on add 3, then you tell them to add 3 and get them on this call. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever listened to her, but she's very barky orders. Just do it, just do it, just do it. It was really honed in on a lot of enriching people's lives, come from an area of caring, wondering what's going on in their lives and connecting. And finally, the core things that we believe in of just making a difference versus sales. So totally love the experience. Mark said he will go again. Absolutely. So I hope the video helps you guys. If you want to give me any feedback, obviously I'm here, and I can't wait until we actually get to meet in person. So I hope you have an excellent night, ladies.